Alright, so part two. I actually want to. I mean, I can call this a part two, but really, I just wanted to continue the conversation I was having in the last video about manifesting and how trauma does not stop you from being able to manifest, and how that statement in and of itself is a trauma response. Okay, trauma does not stop manifestations from happening, but I do want to add this next piece, which is sometimes you don't manifest what you want because it's not what you need right now or at all. Sometimes you don't manifest what you want because it's not what you need right now or at all. Right? There's a few other reasons too. Like I said, if you never ever blame your trauma on why you're not manifesting, and instead learn more about manifesting and investigate the different reasons why, because there are actually legit reasons why you may not be manifesting what you want right now, right? One of the things that come with growing up, becoming an adult, and especially maturing, becoming a mature adult, is recognizing the difference between our wants and our needs. Not everything we want is what we need right now or at all. The first thing people think of when they're learning how to manifest is money. We get it. Everybody wants money. Everybody needs money. I mean, a lot of people think that I don't care about money because of how flippant I can sometimes be about money, and that's not the case at all. We understand that money's important and blah blah blah, gotta blah blah blah, right? If you're not manifesting the money or the large amount of money that you're hoping for right now, it might not be what you need. You might not need it as much as you think you do, right? And a lot of times what we want money for, what we think we need money for, really is to buy our way out of a situation. We want to buy our way out of our problems. We want to buy our way out of issues. We want to buy our way out of problems. We want to buy our way out of situations. And we get kind of upset, or I'm sorry, I am outside, so if you see me doing all this, it's because there's bugs, there's flies. But it's like we see, rich people on, through TV and movies, and we see them, the government bailing out rich folks, and like, what I mean? We see all that, and we're just like, why can't I do that? Why can't I just manifest the money and just bail myself out? Maybe it's not fair, but it is what it is. But it is what it is, right? A really, really good question to ask yourself when you're trying to manifest money and you're not manifesting the money, the best question you can ask yourself at that point in time is, what do I need the money for? What did I think I need the money for? What do I think I want that I think I need money for? You understand? What is it that I think I can buy? What is it, where, you know what I mean? Like, the simplest example I can give is right now is just like a car. Or even, I could even go even smaller and say a new pair of sneakers. I really want a new pair of sneakers. I don't have any money. I want to manifest the money so I can buy the sneakers. I want to manifest the money so I can buy the sneakers. It's like, so what you really want is the sneakers, right? Sometimes spirit is just trying to encourage you to think about life minus the money. Give yourself some space to think about life minus the money, while at the same time, it's okay to acknowledge that you need money for things. But if you're really, really, really trying to test your ability to manifest, or even strengthen your ability to manifest, then it's important to think about what the thing is. What's the thing that you needed the money for? You want the sneakers, right? Because as soon as you get the money, you're gonna buy the sneakers anyway. So what you really wanted was the sneakers. Okay, the real question is, how do I manifest the sneakers? Not how do I manifest the money so I can buy the sneakers. Really is how do I manifest the sneakers. If you can manifest the sneakers without the money, that's when you actually start to understand manifestation. That's when you start to better understand manifestation. And so then you think to yourself, oh, I need a new hat. I wish I had a new hat. And then 2-3 days come by, 2-3 days later go by, 2-3 days go by, and a friend of yours says, oh, I have this couple extra hats that I haven't been wearing. Do you want these? And you're like, absolutely yes, right? Are you too prideful to accept a quote unquote hand me down, right? Because you just got the free hat, right? And that's also what I brought up that pride for. Sometimes our own pride actually gets in the way of what we said we wanted to manifest. Like, oh, I don't need no handouts. There's a lot of people out here that will say no. They might not even say that out loud, and their brain might be thinking to themselves, well, I don't need no, I'm good. And their mind's like, I don't need no handouts because I'm busy manifesting the money. I don't need to take your handout. I'm going to manifest the money so I can buy my own hat. Meanwhile, this person just offered to give you a hat. 3 of them. They said, actually, I have these 3 or 4 hats that I haven't. I only wore them once or twice. You can have them. Right? You want to take up your pride and accept the gift? Or you're going to be stubborn and swear that you're going to manifest the money to buy your own hat, brand new. Right? What I'm getting at is, if it's about learning how to manifest, then make it about learning how to manifest. If you're only learning how to manifest for the money, you'll never really learn how to manifest. Pretend like money's not there sometimes. And granted, again, I know money's important. Like I said, a lot of people assume that I don't think money's important because they don't understand that what I have been doing is teaching myself how to manifest without the money. Because if you notice, we have this phrase, we have this saying. And in some ways it may be true, in some ways it may not be true, but we have this saying that goes, the richer get richer and the poorer gets poorer. Because it just seems like rich people have a way of just attracting more riches. Like, rich people get more things for free than broke people do. You ever noticed that? Especially if you're famous, not just rich, but if you're famous. If you're Cardi B or Beyonce, how many times do people send her their product for free? Here, Beyonce, please wear my jeans. Here, Beyonce, please wear my hat. Here, Beyonce, please wear this. Right? Because like attracts like. Like attracts like. And abundance attracts more abundance. And so, I was really just... It's like, if you're going to play mind games with yourself, it may as well be a game that benefits you. It benefits you without hurting others. Because that's where we're falling short. We're falling short because we're constantly looking for ways to manipulate people and take advantage of people to get what we want. And really, that's just undermining your power. If you truly believe in your power to attract and to manifest, why would you ever need to take advantage of anybody? If you're truly powerful, you would know you don't need to do that. And so, yeah, pardon me pausing because I got stares. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just have this weird thing about people walking by and like eavesdropping on conversation I didn't invite them to, even though at the same time I'm shooting a vlog and then I'm gonna put this online. I don't know why I'm like that. But I might have a little bit of PTSD, from life. But yeah, I'm not gonna stop the video though. Sometimes you just gotta let people be nosy. But if you see my nails, right? So I usually do black, but I figured I would try white, and now it just looks like white out. So I don't know. Actually, it's growing on me a little bit. I'm actually terrible at painting nails, right? I just kind of want it, cause I'm like, I usually do black, and I'm like, it's summertime, Z. You don't got to keep doing this black on black all the time. Like, there's some white in there, right? It's like white is reflective and black is absorbent. So like, what needs to be reflected needs to be reflected. What needs to be absorbed needs to be, out with the good things, out in with the good things. Oh, what did it say? Out with the bullshit, in with the good shit, in with the good shit, out with the bullshit. Right. So anyway, so yeah, piggybacking off of that last video, where they're like, oh yeah, manifestation don't work for people with trauma. So that person is having that statement is a trauma response. That statement is also a block to manifesting what they want. Why should the universe give you what you want given that attitude? Because what the universe would be doing is proving you right. If the universe reward that mindset, they'll be proving you right when you're not. And then you go out into the world teaching people that wrong mindset about manifestation, telling all these traumatized people manifestation don't work for you. Is the suicide rate not high enough? Right? Why would you give people a statement like that? Because that just sounds like you want people to feel hopeless. Oh, that won't work for you. You're too damaged. Like, that's the part I didn't get at. That's the part I didn't quite get at in that last video. And so that person might feel like they're too damaged to deserve it. And so I don't even think it's the trauma that they're thinking of. They're thinking about the things that they did that maybe they're ashamed of. Right? Because when desperate times calls for desperate measures. I don't know, maybe. And there are some people out here who have lived some very, 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 very extreme childhoods. They're born, their mom was a crackhead, the dad was in prison. The mom had to sell herself. Have you ever seen Precious? Okay, there are plenty of people that's somebody's real life, and there's somebody out there whose real life is even worse than that. And so maybe through that trauma, that person had to resort to stealing or selling themselves to get by. And maybe that is why they feel like they're too damaged to deserve better. And so they're telling themselves, yeah, the manifestation is not going to work for me because I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it for all those, all that time that I was stealing, all that time that I was taking advantage of people, all those times that I was lying. Right? That person may be facing their own conscience right now when they wrote that and then posted it for everybody to see. And side note, it could also just be a false prophet. But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. If you don't get what I'm saying, then you need to go back to the class before this one. Okay? And this is 102. This is not 101, so to speak. You understand? And so there's that. Sometimes, so now fast forward to the point of maybe what you're manifesting is not what you need right now. Because maybe God wants you to really learn how to believe in your power to manifest, really manifest, and not just buy your way out of a situation. They're like, no, you can manifest your way out of this situation. And maybe there's a means through which Spirit wants you to manifest it, right? There's another saying that goes, all money's not good money. All money's not good money. I would never knowingly accept money from somebody who's has terribly low vibration. And I said knowingly, because sometimes, I'm a freelancer. I'm out there living my life. I don't always take the time to scan everybody's energy. So I can, but I would notice. Yeah, all money's not good money. So if you think of yourself as desperate, and if I'm someone looking to take advantage of you, and I know that you're desperate, and I got some money, and I can see how incredibly powerful you are, more than you do. I see you have this amazing energy. You don't realize how powerful you are because you think you need to manifest some money, when really you just need to believe in your power more. And maybe the money you was hoping for was going to come a little bit further down the line, right? But if I'm looking to take advantage of you and I see you're looking a little desperate and you don't really know your energy, you don't know how amazing you are, guess what I'm going to do? I'm I'm gonna offer you a little $10,000, $15,000. So some people think that's a lot of money. It's not. I'll offer you a little $25,000. That's not a lot of money. I mean, it definitely could be life changing for somebody. But I'm just saying, overall, I could offer you, in other words, I'll offer you $25,000 before you realize your money, your energy is worth millions. How do you know? How do you know you're not worth even more than what you're asking for right now? You're like, oh, Spirit, please, I only need 20. I only need 50. Right? Maybe Spirit is waiting for you to ask for more because they got more for you. Spirit is like, man, you're worth way more than that. It's only a few occasions that I've been in, again, because I'm a freelancer. I can count on one hand the number of times people have said to me, what to say, like, don't undercut yourself, right? When I'm negotiating price. And that's always a real one. That's always a customer or a client that I want to keep for life. The ones that are making sure that they pay you what you're worth, even if you don't know exactly what that is. I'll go, $10 an hour is cool. And they'll go, actually, no, I'm giving you 15. See, don't undercut yourself. Right? And so, and absolutely, yes, it's easier said than done. But it ain't easy. At least the learning part is not the easy part. Once you learn how to do it, yes, it gets easier. It gets easier. And manifestation, and sometimes we need to remind ourselves that manifesting is something we all do naturally. We have such control issues that sometimes we're doing too much to control that, oh, yes, to prove to ourselves that I can do this. It's like, you do it naturally. If I manifest naturally, then maybe there's something I'm doing or not doing that's just blocking them, right? Sometimes it ain't always what you got to add to a situation. Sometimes it's what you got to take away from a situation. Like this mindset. Take away the mindset that manifestation don't work for people with trauma. Let the easy part be easy. Let the simple part be simple. Let the hard part be hard. Like in school, like adding and subtracting was kind of easy. But when it came to algebra, it got hard. Right? Let the easy be easy. Don't sit there not paying attention when you're just learning how to add and subtract. Because now that you get to the algebra part, now it's hard because you wasn't paying attention when the teacher was explaining, right? The adding, the subtracting, the multiplying, the dividing. Right? You learn to add, you learn to subtract, you learn to multiply, you learn to divide. It progresses. You start to learn a little algebra. But if I wasn't paying attention, if I'm taking for granted the adding and subtracting part, and then I finally decided to start paying attention when we at the algebra part, of course I feel lost. I'll never get this. It's so hard. Was it? You thought you was gonna sleep during this part of the class and just be awake for this part of the class? Right? So, again, manifestation works for everybody, and ask better questions. I always say this: ask better questions. Oh, it must not stop, and don't look for an excuse. Ask better questions. Stop looking for excuses. Try those things, right? Maybe that's the challenge. Maybe Spirit is waiting for you to stop looking for excuses to give you your manifestation. Sometimes, when you think about universe being a responsible parent, and again, sorry if you didn't have responsible parents. But let's not pretend like you don't have some idea of what a responsible parent looks like, right? We have television, we have movies, right? Unfortunately, I won't go there. But there's a lot of decent TV parents out there that you have an idea of what a decent parent looks like. Because if a kid said to you at 5 years old, hey mom, I need $100. And you're like, so you need $100 for what? I want to buy a chainsaw. And you, the parent, knows that chainsaws are very dangerous. And this kid is only 5. And maybe you don't know anybody who knows how to use a chainsaw to teach the kid how to. Because not to say a 5-year-old can't. Hey, there's a lot of brilliant kids out there, I know. They have the chainsaw toys. I've definitely seen one of those. You get him a toy chainsaw just so he can get the feel of it at a younger age. But you're the parent. You're the parent. You know. Now, you'll say to the kid, no, you're 5 years old. I'm not getting you a chainsaw. Those are dangerous. Right? Those are dangerous. You're too young. I will absolutely give you a chainsaw one day, but not right now. Right? And the universe is like a parent. We're called children of God for a reason, because in so many ways we're all still children. We're all still children. Right? And so even having money can be dangerous. Right? So even having money before you're really ready for it can be dangerous. And so, if you know somebody has an addiction, maybe you know somebody has a really bad addiction problem, and they're like, hey, I only need a few dollars. I only need a couple more dollars. I need a couple, because you know what happens if you feed an addiction, right? And so, the universe is being responsible in your behalf. And as a growing, maturing person, it's your job to. Trauma may not be your fault. The trauma may not be your fault, but the healing is still your responsibility. And your ancestors, your spirit guides, the universe wants to see you do well, and it wants to support you in doing well. And you got to meet it halfway by being responsible. Even in the word, right? The word responsible is really like able to respond, like able to have like a mature response to what's happening in your life right now, right? And buying your way out of every problem is not mature. It's actually not very responsible at all. You don't learn anything at the end of the day. And if anything, that catches up to you to the point where you might actually, how basically how a business can kind of be doing well in the first couple of years, and then it can just go. Because it's like sometimes we take for granted the moments that are actually going well. Because I've done it. I think I've said it a few times on here that, because I'm definitely talking to myself out loud as well. And as I've matured, I look back at my life and I recognize, like, you know what? I'm glad I didn't get a certain manifestation when I thought I wanted it. I'm glad I didn't. Like, that would not have been a safe situation for me. Right? As I get older, I'm more able to appreciate that I'm a late bloomer. I appreciate being a late bloomer. I'm glad I, in a way, was sat back and like it gave me that space to watch other people, because you don't just learn from your own mistakes. You can learn from other people's. Everybody wants to be the first to do something. It's like let them be the first. You can kind of watch and take notes, and then when it's your turn, you can do it better. You might be able to do it a little bit better because you was able to learn from their mistake, because they were so determined to go first, to get it first. Why is everybody acting like we're racing to somewhere? And I said it, I think I said this in the last video. Erykah Badu just gave me the perfect quote, and then she said it. You can't really race to being something you're not. At the end of the day, being yourself is an inside job. You got to go within, and similar to like learning math, right? It's really step by step. If you're, I remember actually, I'll close it out with this last example. Like, I'm not even sure I even need this example. You could probably just stop the video right now, because it just comes to mind. Because when I was in college, and this is literally my second time around, because I was actually kind of slow getting through school. It's like, because first time you go in there, I was just going to be going. Second time, it was a lot more intentional. I felt more intentional. And I remember doing college algebra. Yeah, it was like college level. No, it was pre-cal. Yeah, it was college pre-calculus. It was a pre-calculus class. And this lady was a real ass, like, mathematician. Like, she was a real mathematician. She wasn't just a math teacher. She was great. And, she's doing the pre-cal. She's doing the pre-cal, which is essentially like algebra. It's like algebra on steroids. And You get towards the end, and she starts breaking down the fraction. You get an answer. When the answer is a fraction, you have to simplify the fraction, right? When the answer is a fraction, you got to simplify the fraction. If the number on top of the fraction is bigger than the number on the bottom of the fraction, you have to simplify the fraction to give them a more real answer. And she was simplifying the fraction. And this one guy, he raises his hand. He said, "Whoa, slow down." He said, "Can you show us how to simplify fractions?" And she said, "No." And he's like, he had a moment. We're like, "What?" She said, "No, simplifying fractions is what you're supposed to learn in algebra. This is pre-cal." And she said, "Some of these people are paying for this education out of pocket, and I would be wasting their time if I stopped teaching pre-cal to teach you the algebra you're supposed to learn in high school." And it's also why we have a resource room downstairs where they have tutors who, you can brush up on the high school math so that you can. And then she wasn't wrong. He had a little bit of attitude even after class. It's like, oh, she could have just. No, she was absolutely right. Some of those students are paying out of pocket to learn pre-cal. And it's not her fault that you was not paying attention in algebra and don't know how to simplify fractions. And furthermore, he could have went online to learn that part too. You can go right on. He probably could have gone to YouTube. I think we had YouTube. Yeah, we did have YouTube. He could have went ahead and just went on YouTube to learn that part, but she wasn't wrong. She's like, "I'm not going to waste these people's time. This is pre-cal, right? You should have been paying attention, right?" And so if you're going to manifest something and it's not manifesting, it's not like, oh, it must not work because it's me. No, you don't understand it. There's something you wasn't paying attention to in learning the process. There's something there's some step you're trying to skip, or there's some step you sometimes we don't understand the true value of a certain step. Like, this is why, like, adding, that's boring. I don't need to learn how to add, but let me pay attention to when we get to the harder stuff. You know what I mean? It's like we tend to sometimes take for granted things that are simpler, and we sort of miss the point that it's really just it's a simple piece in this larger complex thing, and this larger complex thing wouldn't be so difficult, like you get what I'm saying? And so if the manifestation isn't working for you, then go and that means you got more to learn. That means you got more to learn, not just about manifesting, but by yourself. Because are you trying to manifest your way out of the trauma, or are you truly facing the trauma? Are you truly healing the trauma? I feel like sometimes as especially with this internet, I feel like I remember I seen this other meme, this other quote comes to mind. This says, "A smart person's favorite way to procrastinate is to learn more." Like, a smart person's favorite way to procrastinate is to learn more. Like, there's always something over here where we should be doing, but I'm over here learning about octopus. It's like, meanwhile, I didn't complete this thing, right? Like, but now I'm caught up on the internet learning about I don't know, dragonflies. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? And so maybe that's also part of the lesson, is like eliminating distractions. I know the sun is directly on me, but I'm almost done. It's kind of washing me out a bit, but whatever. I said what I said, and I think this actually went pretty well. I'm going to continue to talk about the manifesting and stuff, because, I don't know. I see people online going, "Yes, I'm a manifestation coach." And I'm like, no, you're not. That sounds good. One of the things about manifesting is, like, you don't need, if you are a manifestation coach, you probably wouldn't even really need to tell anybody that. People would just see you manifesting things for your life, and they would just constantly ask you, "How did you do that? How did you do that? How did you do that?" And then you start charging. But yeah, so yeah, actually learning and actually heal. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. We just, a lot of times we're learning something to distract ourselves. Yeah, so are you learning to manifest as also a part of way of distracting yourself from actually facing your trauma, of doing actual healing? So of course, spirit universe is not going to support that. They're not going to support that by giving you a bunch of manifestations to further distracting you from what they need you to pay attention to. So I think I said in a couple videos back, is like one of the best things that can happen for you is losing everything. One of the best things that could happen to you and for you, one of the best things that can happen for you is losing everything. Losing everything, then you're reminded that everything ain't nothing. Most things ain't nothing anyway. It's just things, right? I feel like losing a lot. I've lost a lot. I'm not gonna say I lost everything, but I've definitely lost a lot. But it was like every time I was losing a lot, I was losing a lot when it came to a certain category. I wasn't losing a lot when it came to certain other categories. It almost kind of forced me to notice where I don't lose. It's like I said to somebody once, I said, oh yeah, there's a saying, right? There's a saying that's like I forgot the perfect saying, but I was like, oh, what I said to them was, are you a fish trying to climb a tree? That's what I'm getting at. It's like, are you feeling like a loser because you think you should be climbing trees because you see all these monkeys climbing trees, and you're like, I want to climb the trees too because that looks so cool. And in spirit, it's like trying to remind you that actually you're a fish. You're a fish. You can swim. Like, you can do all kinds of amazing things that the monkeys can't do. Like, monkeys can swim a bit too. Like, you know what I'm trying to say. And so before you could really know what you need versus what you want, is you gotta really know who you are. That comes back to getting to know you. Who are you really? What are you really about? Who are you really? What you're really about? Do you just want these things because you see your friends have them? All your friends got a car, and now you think you want a car. So I live in New York City. This is the kind of city where you don't actually need a car. It's one of the reasons why insurance is so high here. Like, it's high, it's congested for one. It's higher probability of fender benders. But it's also considered somewhat of a luxury here because you don't need it. If you live within the 5 boroughs, you don't really absolutely need it. A lot of people out here have cars to stunt on their friends. Sitting in a parking lot. Like, where are you even going? I know someone, maybe they see this video, maybe they won't, but I know somebody who had a job working for MTA, and they were stationed at a train station that they could walk to, but thought it was a great idea to buy like an $80,000 car. You understand what I'm getting at? It's like, you wanted the car because maybe you wanted to stun on your friends. I don't know, we too grown for that. We're definitely well into our 30s at that point. But you work for MTA, which means you get to ride the train for free. You live in a neighborhood where you actually have everything you need. This person lived in like a hot spot. Like, I forget what you call it, like a hot spot where supermarkets, grocery stores, everything you need is in your neighborhood. You don't really got to go too far. And their partner had a car. Their partner had a car, but they also had a job in another borough, so it made more sense for them to have that car. But your job was up the block, working for MTA, which allows you to ride the train for free. But you said, you know what? I want a car. I want to get me this cool car. And you better believe this person they had a car accident, so now they had to go take out a loan to fix the car. And then like a year later, 1 or 2 years later, it got stolen. because you didn't need the freaking car. You're not learning the lesson. You're not learning the lesson. So Spirit said, you know what? I'm just going to take the car. It was an unnecessary purchase. That's $80,000 you could have invested in your interests, going back to school. You could have put it into a savings account and let it accumulate. You could have learned how to play stocks. This is an $80,000 car, and then you had to take out a loan to fix the car when you work for MTA and ride the train for free. You understand? So you got to get realistic about what your situation is. Get realistic about who you are, what you're about, and then what you actually need becomes clear, because your wants should actually go with your needs. It's like Michael Jackson. Well, you know what? Let's not bring up celebrities. Forget that part. I'm not blocking it out. But say I have a passion for feeding children. I want to feed all the hungry children in all the world. So first, what am I passionate about? Okay, now what do I need to do to take steps towards this passion? Oh, I have a passion to be a musician. I would love to play the guitar. I watch guitarists all day and I think it's amazing. I think I can do it. So if I want to be a guitarist, what do I need? A guitar. Right? I have a passion. I want to save the children. You know, one thing I need to do is maybe it wouldn't hurt for me to go volunteer at some nonprofits, and I can learn some things about running those. Maybe I need to lead. Maybe I need to learn, right? First, who are you? What are you about? Then that dictates what you need, and what you need dictates what you want. Because it's like once your needs are met, it's like I feel like once our needs are met, what you think you want starts to change. But how many of these rich people say it all the time? Oh, I thought I needed this and I thought I needed that, and then once I got the money and then once I got the fame, I realized I didn't really need that. I really need, I respect Tyrese. He be going on these interviews, going on and on and on about. He's like, I stopped buying real diamonds. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I stopped buying the real diamonds. I remember he was at an interview and somebody was like, those diamonds is nice. He said, you can have them. They're $36. I got them $36 on Amazon. He's like, what? You can't even tell. He said, I got me some good Cuban zirconias, $36. He said, you can have them. You like them that much. You got. He said, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. He told a story about how he said I had on my nightstand a pair of $250,000 pair of earrings on his nightstand. He said I come home or I come out my shower or something like that, and they're missing. He said, he got a cleaning lady. I asked the cleaning lady, where my earrings go? Me don't know. Me don't know. He said, but 2 weeks later, she quit her job. And like a couple months later, her and her man bought a new house. But she don't know where them earrings went. You understand this? Because he's like, did I really need $250,000 earrings? Like, no. I'm not doing that no more. Right? Universe taught him a lesson. He learned the lesson. And move forward with his life. Learn the lessons. What lessons are you refusing to learn? When you learn those lessons, guess what? The manifestation might be the reward for the lesson you learn. Because you set out to actually heal. Because you set out to actually be a better person. Are you trying to be a better person, or are you just trying to be a richer person? Stop following behind the evil rich people you see on TV. Stop following behind them. Their lives are different. Their choices are different. Your life is not theirs. Stop comparing yourself. Do you, be you, love yourself. All right, y'all. Peace.